All right, Detroit Pistons messing up the tank for the number one pick. Um, let's talk about it. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. You got a few fans theories on this. You got fans that probably in the middle who don't care, and then you got the fans that say you never go out there and intentionally lose a football game. Okay, so I'm always at the point of if you losing like they losing, it's not on purpose. You usually go for the tank, but like I said before, like who's the number one overall pick? Like who's this life changing guy? Like this guy, like like I said before, all right, let's say if Peyton Manning was coming out, okay, I'd be a little pissed, but the team that's ahead of us for the pick for the here and now, the team that's ahead of us is Jaguars. They don't need no quarterback, but they do need a pass rusher. So then you won't have the pick of the litter or the pass rusher that you want. But let's spit on it. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, find me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, uh, or Facebook. If you have a business question, require response to video question, or you just want to support, my response time is better when you hit me on Twitter. Okay. Uh, but like yesterday, I was just happy that they won. That was a game they wasn't supposed to win. Shorthanded, got a couple guys back, DBs back, and they played well. And they still fighting. And on top of that, where they still fighting, I was fine with it because I don't see nobody that's the superior number one pick. All right, right now, as it stands, is Thibodeau and Aiden Hutchinson. Okay, those are the guys who the number one pick. But I don't, right, and I could be wrong, but I don't see LT. I don't see like Khalil Mack is a great player. He went into the top five, I believe, in Von Miller. They're great players, but they're not. How can I say it? They're not going to impact the game like a quarterback. It's so much of a quarterback driven league. It's so much of a quarterback driven league that you know, they're gonna help the pass rush and they're gonna help the defense. They're gonna do a lot of great things. I'm not saying that they won't, but they need that top guy that's going to be they need that top guy that's going to be the quarterback that is just so bad that's going to change the game, and they have to find that guy. Okay, at the quarterback position. I mean, you can get Goff more receivers, but if you notice some of the balls Goff threw yesterday, bro, they was fluttering, man. He just don't have the arm strength. And I think it could be the oblique injury, but he ain't really a power thrower. When you talk about, you just look at our division, you got to go to Green Bay, you got to go to Chicago outside of there. You may need to go through Carolina in the winter, which ain't all that bad. Or you may need to go, through Philadelphia, Washington football team. They beat us in the last NFC championship that we made. You may need to go through them. So I'm not upset about I'm not upset about the number one pick. As long as we're in that three range, it is what it is. I'd be upset if it was a guy that was like just head and shoulders above everybody else. When you look at it, Thibodeau and Aiden Hutchinson both had Thibodeau and Aiden Hutchinson both had they both had injury histories, and we just looked that up. The last live stream we do, check the Lions 101 playlist up. We just looked that up. You know, so they just had they both had injury histories. They numbers both the same. And I think it come down to interviews and in combine times. That's what I think it come down to. And at this point, they need a game changer at the quarterback position. And once the combine come around and they start interviewing and start learning about people, you got questions about sexuality that drop people. You start learning about their family's background that start dropping people. Like I said before, I'm gonna ask you guys: is it just that having a pick of being number one, that you just want to have the number one overall pick, or what it's about having the number one overall pick? That's what I need to know because when I look at this board, I don't see a guy as right now that, like I said, they got five guys rated the same from Derek Stingley to Evan Neal to Kayvon Thibodeau and Aiden Hutchinson. And then you have What is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys that's rated a point below them as of right now, and this definitely can change. And that's D. Marvin Leal from Texas A&M, defensive end. George Kartifis, defensive end from Purdue. That's N'Kobe Deal, inside linebacker from Georgia. That's Charles Cross, offensive tackle from Mississippi State. That's Jamison Williams, wide receiver Alabama. Gary Wilson, wide receiver Ohio State. And Drake London, wide receiver USC. I don't know where that big fella at that went to Georgia. I wouldn't mind like moving down for him. I don't see him on the board. Is he? Yeah, Jordan Davis. I wouldn't mind like getting my if he down there, man. I wouldn't mind taking this kid neither. That kid is an animal, bro. I don't know why he ain't like he ain't higher on the list. But they say he's a massive 3-4 nose tackle, but has tradition he has experience in traditional 4-3. So like I said before, man, like you got to make room for like if he the talent, you got to make room for somebody like that. I know we got a nose and a lean McNeil, but McNeil is athletic enough to go on that edge a little bit too. But like I said, who we screaming number one? Who and Kyle Hamilton also had a 93 grade, excuse me, too. So yes, yeah. So who we screaming number one? It's a lot of guys right now that's packed with each other. And these are pre-draft grades, and just eyeballing them because I looked at them. This kid is the most unique guy to look at. He's a guy that's probably he's probably gonna be the guy with the most eyeballs at the draft on him. He's probably going to be the guy that's gonna wow. That's gonna have to wow. How about that? They said Willis is terrific at extending plays and keeping his eyes downfield outside the pocket. His off-platform throws have plenty of wow factor as he gets the ball from various releases points and with velocity that hit tight window. So that was an evaluation. So they said pocket mobility is exceptional. Release and arm strength is above average. Accuracy is average, and mental makeup is above. Like I said before, this is just somebody's opinion. We got to see him run. We got to see him do the stuff. You know what I'm saying? And he's probably going, for us personally, he's probably going to be the guy that has the most, wow factor. And then you look at a guy like Pickett. He got the height, he got the arm. You know what I'm saying? Durability is an issue there. So he got speed. Kind of remind you of, just from I don't really look at him. He kind of remind me of Joe Burrow's kind of guy, especially seeing him run, man. So, like I said, we talking about the number one pick, man. There's options. You know what I'm saying? We don't even know who the guy is. Now, we haven't seen a lot of guys rise, to the number one pick. We've seen guys like Khalil Mack getting the top 3 with good running. We've seen guys like Chris Johnson getting there with good combines, but we ain't really seen nobody like that's like outside the top 15 in a long time really get up there and get into the number one pick. So my thing is, I'm not really upset about it. Now, if they win the next 3 games, then we got a problem. But for the most part, all these guys are pretty much kind of in the same crevice right now. When we really start getting busy with the homework, is going to be on guys when the combine come, when the interviews come, when testing come. And it's a couple guys that can rise. There's a tremendous amount of guys who can rise, bro. I'm telling you, bro. You talking about receivers, man. It's receivers down here that can get it done. Jahan, the receiver from Penn State. You got a guy, Traylon Burks from Arkansas. You got a guy from there's another guy down there too. Yeah, John Mechie the third. He probably gonna fall because of the injuries. So you got talent up and down here. It's just you got to figure out when you give this guy this money, you got to understand who didn't think about guys that go late round and go undrafted like some guys we got. The difference with them guys, the question is about them, like they don't get the coaching, bro. When they come here and they get good coaching, they flourish. Another guy that might rise up here is David Ojabo. With a good run in the national championship or a good combine, he might rise, bro. All he got to do is run fast. And you have a good national championship or a good playoff, man, he probably gonna rise up there too. But a couple guys I like that Jordan Davis guy. But if he down there, because he more of a nose, you don't really see nose tackles go high. They like those twitchy guys like Warren Sapp and John Randall, even though those guys can go that high. They like pass rushers to go that high. So you got to remember, you talking about when you in the top five, and I said it before and I say it again. When you in this top five area, when you in here, there's exceptions, and I talk about exceptions. When you in here, it's all about quarterback. Pass rusher, if it's inside, standing up, edge on the inside, whatever it may be, pass rusher. And it's all about blind side blocker. So when you in this area, that's what you need. A blind side, you need a bodyguard for your back for your quarterback's blind side. You need a quarterback, or you need a pass rusher, whether it's on the edge or in the interior. That's what you need. And then you say, well, what's the exceptions? Exceptions is elite players. Don't matter what the position is. The elite players, Calvin Johnson. You know what I'm saying? When you get up there, Christian McCaffrey, Zeke Elliott, guys like that, there's exceptions. Barry Sanders, Deion Sanders. There's exceptions. Those guys are the exceptions, bro. If they knew what they knew about Revis, he probably would have went higher. You know what I'm saying? Those are the exceptions when you're talking about getting in that top five. You got to be an elite player. Outside those categories. Apparently Cal Hamilton is that guy. He meets that exception. Especially the way the game is played. Safeties are interchangeable. You have to go in the box. You have to go play the deep half. You have to play single hot and deep middle. You got to be able to, do those things. If I can keep you on the field, you can play the box and you can play the deep middle. You can play the deep half and all that. You can cover. That's basically having tackle in the box. You're basically like a linebacker hybrid. So that's everything I've been hearing about him. So like I said before, when you get that high, those are the rules. And if none of those, traditionally, if none of those guys mark the box, then you're trying to move out of there. But you got to hope that somebody value these other guys like you don't. But that's the rule of thumb. But hey, I'm not mad that they didn't lose the game. I really don't care, because as long as they lose the rest of them, they play Atlanta. Who do we play? Like Atlanta, Seattle, and Green Bay left. As long as we in that 2 range, because if you look at Jacksonville, they have the Jets this week, so if they can beat the Jets, which the Jets barely just lost to the Jets just barely lost to the Dolphins yesterday. Dolphins won they said the Dolphins won like 7 straight or something like that, or whatever it was. Then they got the Patriots and the Colts. So the best thing for us next week is the Jaguars lose. But you think about the Jaguars, they just drafted a guy named Josh Allen not too couple years ago, who's playing pretty good. So they got Miles Jack in the middle. And if they're able to add a guy like Kayvon Thibodeaux and Aiden Hutchinson, then it's gonna get dangerous. But obviously that's where I would think they would be going. They're going for one of those pass rush, where they might go for Derek Stingley, but then they just drafted my man's a couple years ago that they traded from Florida. So, to me, I think it might be an outside chance that they might take the Hamilton kid, but I think they're going for one of them pass rushers. But we got to see who the coach is and where management and stuff go from there. But like I said, there's talent everywhere. But what's going to separate this talent is the scouting combine. And people just think about 40 times and lifting weights and doing, the bench press. But those interviews too are critical. How you interview, how you speak, how you answer the question, your family background. Like I said, they asking about sexuality now. That's affecting your impact. I mean, how you answer these questions, how you go to the board and you got to remember plays and that, what I'm saying? That all affecting your draft stuff. So this board is going to look different. Somebody might run slower. Somebody might refuse to run. Somebody might not throw as good at their pro day. So, like I said before, when I look at this board, as far as the workout portion, out the guys that I know, Drake London 40 times is gonna be imperative. Hudson and Thibodeaux workout is gonna be very imperative for them to retain their spots. And Jabo and Jordan Davis from Georgia, they workout times is gonna be very, very critical as well too. So yeah, let me know what you girls and guys think. I'm just trying to get to work on doing some of this draft preparation before we hit the off season. Talk about it Find me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. If you have a business question, inquiry, sponsorship, video request, or you just want to support, Twitter's the fastest way than Facebook and Instagram. Want to make a financial donation? Cash App CJ Good 313, Venmo CJ Good 313, PayPal link description. Appreciate that. Venmo, Cash App, rolling at the bottom of the screen as well as in the description. Best way to donate, comment, thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell icon button if you have a bit. If you want to get on notification, go live, drop when I drop videos, or go live. Oh, you want to get notification, go live or drop a video. Appreciate the love, support. Take the Detroit Lions Talk playlist. Let me know what you think in the comment section.